Hi, my name is Davin. I'm a marriage and family therapist here at Ellie Mental Health in Buckhead. And today I'm coming to you with a therapy talks on the topics of boundaries. So today we're going to talk a little about what boundaries are, how to maintain them, how to not weaponize them, and how to use discretion when implementing boundaries. Tip number one, communicating effectively our boundaries is very important. A lot of us find ourselves holding people accountable for things we never quite communicated to them. So that may look like going to a friend, a family member, a partner, and saying, I've noticed that we've had a dynamic where we're yelling at each other in conflict. Um, I don't want that to be our dynamic. So moving forward, if you continue to yell at me, I will remove myself from the conversation, just as a way that feels safe for me and to protect myself. You made it very clear to the person what your boundary is. You made it very clear what the consequence would be for if they overstep your boundary, and you made it very clear to them how it impacts you. I think it's important to communicate effectively when trying to set boundaries. Now, tip number two is the hardest part. It's doing what we just talked about, but then also maintaining it. So the time when they actually do yell at you the next time, because as we know, humans, were creatures of habit, so it may happen again. You have to remove yourself. That's the hard part, is actually holding myself accountable, which will trigger a lot of our wounds, our fears. It will make us feel things. So it's important to learn how to maintain them as a way to protect the relationship, not to weaponize it. And tip number three, use discretion and do not weaponize your boundaries. Using discretion looks like kind of what I just described. If we have a dynamic where we've maintained a relationship with kind of some toxic ways and yelling and things like that, and I'm now setting a boundary that's going to change that dynamic, there will probably be some times where that becomes present. So there's ways to maintain and be effective by saying, okay, that thing is happening. I am going to remove myself. I'm not going to just cut you out of my life completely. However, I need you to be aware that this is what it feels like when you overstep my boundaries, and I'm really trying to create a healthy dynamic with us. It's important not to weaponize the word. We cannot use boundaries as a way to just push people away, to stonewall people, and to not hold ourselves accountable. So when the time comes, which it will, learn to maintain that boundary, but also offer discretion and empathy towards others.